Hi guys, I'm Steve. Welcome to my channel UncleFish. For today's video, I'm going to share to you some of my experiences ng pagbibuild ng computer, and these three reasons or factors na you should be watchful naman and be mindful when choosing or buying a computer. There are a lot of computers for sale out there, and sometimes di natin alam yung relationship ng components na ito and ibang mga methods na hindi tinuturo sa atin ng mga technicians or sales agent kung anong functionalities, relationship in every component ng iyong computer. One major factor na napag-isipan ko ito is magbigay kaalaman sa lahat, lalo na sa mga newbie or amateur or sa mga taong nagbabalak mag-build ng computer para sa kanilang anak, especially pandemic, could be work from home or could be for gaming. One of this component in my list is yung power supply. Mostly is either they're recommending a mid-tier, medyo expensive siya, or it could be a generic power supply. And if we talk about power supply, ito yung device ni computer nagbibigay ng power sa yung component, like directly to your motherboard, graphics card, whatsoever. And most of the time, hindi tinuturo sa atin ang efficiency rating ng power supply. Mostly binibigyan tayo ng generic kasi one is cost efficient siya, cheaper. Minsan naman binibigyan tayo ng true rated na supply pero yung white na version lang siya. And if we are missing the point ng power supply, it can give harm sa yung device, lalo na may mga power outage or hindi siya nagre-regulate ng magandang voltage through your component, which means you will not have the good experience when it comes to gaming. Number two, itong reason or you should be watchful of is yung airflow ng inyong computer. Most technicians or sales in every store, napapansin nyo, binibigyan tayo ng mga magandang casing. May mga casing na tinatawag na with RGB, may rainbow lights siya, maganda tignan, astig, and hindi tinuturo sa atin kung anong consequence ng mga casing na ito. For example, may mga cheap na mga casing, like say for example yung Transonic na RA version niya. If napapansin nyo, may mga casing din like itong unit na to or model ng Transonic or Trend Raider, I'm not so sure, but I've seen some. Wala siyang masyadong magandang airflow kasi sirado yung front panel ng kanyang casing, which means if you are choosing yung type na model na yan for your casing, it reduces airflow, lalo sa mga unit na maiinit or powerful CPUs, no? Nagbibigay kasi ng init. Now, going back sa power supply, hindi tinuturo sa atin yung power efficiency rating. Like I said earlier, merong mga different categories, like for example, yung unrated, meron tayong white, meron din tayong bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and titanium. Paki-check na lang sa link below. Meron akong i-share dyan na website. This is just based from my research. Nagbibigay kaalaman ano tong mga category ng power supply na to. Now next, second from my list is hindi tinuturo sa atin yung proper airflow when it comes to building a computer. Most of the time, binibigyan lang tayo ng generic casing. Saan pala? If you may be thinking, anong kinalaman ni computer casing sa topic na ito. CPU or computer casing is also playing an important role, lalo na sa cooling system natin, not just the cooler itself but yung airflow regulation ng ating computer. Kasi syempre, general rule lang based sa aking kaalaman din and experience, pag mainit hindi ka nakakapag-isip, kagaya rin sa ating human being. If mainit yung ulo natin, it could give us less efficiency when it comes to making the right decision. Ganon din yung computer natin. Pag masyadong mainit si CPU, nagkakaroon siya ng hindi magandang experience, or nagbibigay siya ng hindi magandang experience sa gaming natin, or could be some other processes na dinoload natin sa kanya. So minsan yun, nagsha-shutdown yung computer, nag-auto restart siya, or worse is nasisira yung ibang component or parts like ni motherboard or ni GPU for the worst part, no? So yun, if you encounter this, you can also check kung anong magandang airflow or what airflow does the case na sinishare ng technician sa atin or ng sales agent sa atin. There are a lot of, or maraming casing na maganda, but for me, one is we have to understand yung component na choose natin, kasi meron naman tayong mga parts or component ng computer na hindi naman ganun kainit when it comes to process. There's a lot of the list. Say for example, old generation computer kagaya ni i3 4th gen, 5th and 6th gen, from my experience, hindi siya ganun kainit when it comes to process. So stock cooling and yung maliliit lang na mga type na ITX or micro ATX na tawag dito, computer casing, okay siya. So when we talk about the case, going back sa sinasabi ko kanina, one major rule dyan is we have to understand yung binibigay na airflow ni computer case. Kasi as I was saying earlier, pag masyadong mainit, lalo na sa mga computer parts, or if we are choosing a mid-tier type of computer, say for example kagaya ni i5 9th gen or 8th gen, this CPU has 6 cores. So when it comes to loading up the cores, no, like for example nag-stream ka ng game mo, you're playing games that are core hungry games kagaya ni Warzone. From my experience, Call of Duty Warzone, this game requires a lot of your cores. So pag naglo-load up siya masyado, syempre umiinit yung processor ng computer natin. And if we don't have the proper airflow, nagi-stuck yung heat sa loob ng CPU or sa case. So minsan yun, nagsha-shutdown yung game natin kasi hindi siya nagbibigay ng magandang cooling. Second, dimension ko kanina, related sa stock cooling. So kadalasan dyan, from my experience, I have encountered some sales representative from different stores here in Cebu. Like say for example, binibigyan tayo nila ng quotation ng Ryzen 5 3600 or Ryzen 5 2600. Maganda dyan, binigyan din tayo ng magandang IO cooling, no? Yung meron pang magandang lighting or RGB. But if we forget to check the specs ng IO cooling natin, malamang madalas yan is yung binibigyan tayo ng mga cooling system na kagaya lang ng stock cooler. So which means nacho-choke pa rin si CPU, hindi siya nagbibigay ng magandang cooling system. So I suggest before choosing a proper cooling or cooler, mas maganda nag-research muna tayo and check compatibility ng cooling ni stock cooler versus ng IOI cooler or IO cooler, or yung tinatawag natin na air cooling or air cooler lang siya. Like for example, yung ginagamit ko na si Gamax GT Tough Edition, pinalitan ko yung stock cooling ko to that cooling or air cool, yung tinawag ng air cooler ng processor cooling. So yun, pinalitan ko siya ng Gamax type of cooling or air cooler, and so far average ni CPU temperature before nung hindi ko pa siya pinalitan, if I'm playing Warzone, umaabot siya ng 73 to 70 degrees Celsius. Think about it, masyadong mataas, masyadong mainit. Though hindi pa siya nag-throttle or nagba-bottleneck kasi yung TDP naman natin 9th generation is eventually can load up to 80 to 100 degrees, but still 70 for me is too high. So I decided pinalitan ko si stock cooler, pinalitan ko siya ng Gamax, and now average niya even for or say nag-i-stream ako ng laro, could be Dota, could be GTA or Warzone, average niya is between 50 to 60 degrees lang. So malaki yung factor na pinagbago ng performance ni i5 ko. Next gen, by the way, don't forget to check the link again. I'll be sharing to you guys links na mga websites where I conducted research upon, for you guys to check on it, para magkaroon kayo ng guide when it comes to choosing different type of case, para at least prepare kayo to choose the case you need when it comes to building a computer para magkaroon ng magandang airflow. Okay, number 3 from my list. Hindi masyado to tinuturo sa atin, and most of the time we are learning this from our own research. This is the relationship ni processor and ni motherboard. Hindi tinuturo sa atin yung say for example, from my experience, nung nabili ko yung computer ko before, si i5 9th Gen or 9400F, paired up siya ni Asus X revision 2 ata yun, 2 version, yung dalawang memory lane lang, and this motherboard doesn't have support para sa aking napiling case na si Cougar MX660. Cougar MX660, meron siyang tatlong RGB na cooling fans na free sa case. Now, what happened when I chose that casing, merong akong pagkakamali. May tatlo siyang fan header. And these fan headers are hindi siya yung kagaya ng 4-pin na directly connected sa PSU or power supply, meaning these are the type of connectors to be connected on board para mag-work yung fans ni CPU, or sorry, not CPU, rather CPU lagi ito sa CPU, fans ng ating case or ng aking case. So yun, I decided to buy a new one instead, no? Kasi that's one of the mistake I did from the past, and I don't want you guys to do the same. So before buying or choosing a case, it's also important to understand kung ano yung mga type of fans na kakabit natin sa ating computer case. Check the description din kung anong meron or capability ni motherboard. Kasi most of the time or some other time, yung pinaka cheapest well budget na motherboard, hindi ko sinasabing hindi siya maganda yung mga cheap na mga motherboard or yung affordable na motherboard. I'm just saying na there are these motherboards na hindi siya nagbibigay ng compatibility support ng type of fans na nagtutulong ng cooling sa ating computer. So yun, first is check your motherboard if ilang fan header meron siya. Next is check nyo din yung napili yung CPU fans. Check if fan header ba siya connected to motherboard, or are these 4 pins na directly connected sa power supply. Now, ang maganda kasi dito, if magpili kayo ng motherboard, also check if the motherboard does support RGB fusion for Aorus or Gigabyte, or for Asus, I think that's G-Sync ata yung tawag niya. I'm not sure. I'm not so fan with Asus or TUF. So far, Gigabyte pa lang or Aorus pa lang na try ko. Kasi when I bought my i5 second-hand siya from another user, though I'm the second owner. I bought that with receipt from the guy. I found it on Facebook and upgraded it to a better looking, should I say, kasi after that time aesthetics ng computer. But also checked yung cooling, magandang cooling para sa aking computer, kaya yun, I decided to upgrade it to Aorus Elite na B365, and then chose Cougar MX660 para sa aking casing. So I hope the information I'm sharing to you guys will help you in the future when you're deciding to buy a computer or to build a new one. And again, please be mindful to check the component na binibenta sa inyo. Huwag padalos-dalos sa cheap na price or sa low budgeted, or not, I keep saying low, or cheap. Ito na lang, ilagay na natin sa well budget na type of computer. So yun, again, don't forget to check kung ano yung binibentang power supply, making sure that this power supply gives proper efficient power para sa inyong component. Check nyo yung link below. Next is yung case, what type of case yung binibenta sa inyo. Does this case helps your components breathe, yung may magandang airflow? And next is yung motherboard, does it have enough compatibility para sa casing? And for future upgrade, does it support the type of fans you'll be selecting para magbigay ng magandang airflow sa inyong computer? So yun siya guys, relationship ng computer case natin kay motherboard and yung mga installed or pre-installed fans nito. Kagaya na nabanggit ko earlier, may mga type of fans kasi na kailangan niya ng compatible na connector. Like for example, yung nabanggit ko is yung fan headers. Watch out dyan kasi tricky din po yun, lalo na sa mga bagong generation ng hubs. May iba't ibang klaseng CPU fans na nagpa-power up ng fans para gumana, and lalo na sa mga type of fans na merong RGB fusion, that's from Aorus, and then I think Aura Sync yung tawag kay Asus. I'm not sure with MSI, di ko pa nagagamit si MSI so far, di pa ako napag-upgrade ng MSI motherboard. Kasi itong Aura Sync and RGB fusion ni Aorus, ang design niya nito ma-connect lahat ng mga klase-klaseng device na may mga special functions ng ilaw, para ang mangyayari niyan, isa lang yung remote nyo. Paiba-iba yung ilaw, yung takbo ng ilaw, ganyan. Yung animation kumbaga, at least steady siya ng isang remote lang. Hindi siya ganun kagulo, like yung isa rainbow, yung isa blue, ganyan. Tingnan nyo siya kasi like I said, medyo tricky siya. So ito naman si casing naman, and sometimes hindi, or binibigyan tayo ng casing na hindi naman nagbibigay yung motherboard ng special function support ng case. Say for example, yung yung Asus H3110 ko, nung nag-upgrade ako ng Cougar MX660, merong tawag dito, meron siyang extended na Type-C na USB port. yung current motherboard ko noon or yung luma kong motherboard, wala siyang ganun na support. So nangyari, I have to upgrade it to Force B365 para magkaroon naman siya ng support ng type C. So at least nagfa-function yung isang port na pwedeng gamitin. Like say for example, nag-i-stream or port to port ng tawag dito ng phone or whatnot, nagagamit si type C na USB. So pagdating naman din sa casing natin guys, aside sa mga kakaibang functions niyan, meron niyang mga pre-installed na mga CPU fans. Always check kung anong pins and connectors meron yan, kasi baka pag nabili nyo siya, hindi siya compatible sa inyong motherboard. Like I was saying earlier, may mga pins yung mga pre-installed fans na hindi compatible kay motherboard. So dagdag sakit ng ulo and sometimes costly pa siya, kasi yun, mag-upgrade ka, bibili ka pa ng ibang uri ng fan na babagay sa yung motherboard. So yun siya guys, laging tandaan na one is always look at yung binibigay sa atin na power supply, see if ano yung efficient rating nito. Kagaya na banggit ko before, meron tong mga different na mga efficient rating, kagaya ni white, silver, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, etc. Tapos sa atin namang cooling, check nyo yung mga compatible headers ng fan connectors. Make sure compatible siya kay motherboard. Yung switches nito, make sure hindi siya ganun kasagabal sa lalagyan yung case or PC case. And yung casing naman natin, like nabanggit ko rin, may mga different type of cases. Yung merong micro ATX, mid tower, full tower na mga type of case. Meron yung mga type of robotic and customized na type of case na pwede nyong upgradean ng water cooling. So yun guys, sa susunod try natin mag-create ng video yung mga different type ng mga magagandang air cooling natin, kasi yung goal naman natin mag-upgrade. Syempre lubusin na din natin yung upgrade. Huwag tayo mag-upgrade ng cooling natin na hindi ganun kalayo ang TDP niya kung anong merong cooling natin ngayon, kasi masasayang yung pera. And pag nag-upgrade siya, hindi ganun kalayo yung binibigay niyang performance. So sayang naman din yung pera. Kaya pag nag-upgrade, lubusin na natin. Let's make sure na nakakaginhawa si CPU, kasi pag maganda yung cooling natin, magandang performance si CPU, malayo sa throttle, malayo sa destruction ng ibang device na, or not device but rather mga games na linalaro natin, and hindi din siya nagbibigay ng bottlenecks kumbaga. Kasi lagi nang sinasabi ko, pag tuwing naglalaro or sa ibang agenda, pag mainit ang ulo, hindi panalo yan. So hope nagustuhan niyo po yung video na ginawa kong ito, and huwag kalimutan mag-like sa video and i-click din yung bell notification para ma-notify din naman kayo pag may bagong video na akong ginawa or in-upload sa aking channel. And huwag kalimutan mag-subscribe.